All right, pleased to be joined now by the Director of Athletics at Urbana, Larry Cox. Larry, how are you today?
Doing fantastic, living the dream.
All right. If we could, let's just talk about your arrival at Urbana. You've got a wide range of experience, but most recently coming from a high school. So tell me a little bit about how your experiences prepared you to come to Urbana.
Well, I have over 30 years experience at a small college level at private liberal arts institutions. So I have over 20 years as a head coach at a small college for men's basketball. And throughout my career, I picked up increasingly responsible administrative duties from running a recreation center on campus to ticket event manager to assistant athletic director to athletic director at Brescia University NAI institution. And then, as you mentioned, my most recent foray was at the high school level, and that was really for family reasons. But with over 30 years' experience at the small college level, this is really my wheelhouse and something that I really enjoy.
What do you like about that small college experience? You kind of mentioned, doing the tickets and game management, and when you're at a smaller place, you kind of have to wear a lot of hats. Is that part of the job that you enjoy?
I think it's twofold. I think I would probably be bored at a bigger institution if I had a very finite area that I was responsible for. Here I'm in charge or involved in every area on the campus. And the other is you have a greater opportunity to connect and know your coaches as well as some of the student athletes on campus. So I've always enjoyed the small personal attention that you have in the relationship building, which I think is really what I'm about is relationship building.
Well, when you come to Urbana, I think the word that comes to mind is opportunity. So what are the opportunities that presented itself that made you really intrigued about this position?
I think Urbana has a ton of potential that, for whatever reason, hasn't been fully realized. And with the backing of Franklin University, helping support and provide resources, including personnel and shared services, as well as the economic backing, Urbana is sitting, I think, in a very unique area here. With you go 100 miles in any direction, you pick up Indianapolis, you pick up Toledo, you pick up Columbus, Dayton, Cincinnati. So I think it's a great recruiting area to draw from. You have all the amenities of a small town, yet you have the closeness of a metropolitan area. If you need access to it, the people here, and I felt the very first time that I interviewed here that people are the greatest resource and the thing that draws you and attracts you to Urbana, and that's certainly been verified during my time here.
Whenever you take over a job, there's always a lot to do. How did you prioritize, and what was that priority list? In the months that you've gotten there since January.
I think the important thing early on is to kind of listen and take everything in as opposed to jumping in and trying to change everything. Certainly, there were things that I was looking at when I look at the potential, because I'm a big picture guy, I'm a vision guy, looking at facilities, how do we upgrade facilities, even if it's only cosmetically to modernize the look, those kind of things. We're looking at, just the staff in terms of how we coach, how we mentor, how we recruit, the philosophy of the department. We're looking for excellence in competition, excellence in the classroom, excellence in the community, and really getting that message across. And there were some things already in the work here in terms of new sports logos. We've been looking to do some things with our website, with front rush recruiting, with the Under Armour apparel deal that we have going on now. So there's a lot of things that we're doing to try and upgrade, change the culture a little bit, get people excited about Urbana, both within our staff and obviously without in terms of attracting student athletes.
Tell me a little bit about that Under Armour deal. An exciting time for the university. How did that come about? How were you able to complete that?
I've done it really at the previous four schools that I was at. We've had an all sports exclusive deal. And to me, it does a couple of things. Certainly, number one, you have a consistent look, which I think is important. With our color, if you have a variety of different companies, a royal blue looks different than on the company. This way, we have some consistency in our look. I think that's important. I think it helps with our brand messaging, and I think it certainly has a certain cachet with recruits, which is also important. So really, I put it out there. We looked at Nike, we looked at Adidas, we looked at Under Armour. We received proposals from each of those different vendors, and we kind of sorted it through, and it was very close. It was a difficult decision, but I just felt like Under Armour right now is kind of cutting edge, and I think getting ready to explode. And you see some of their recent successes with obviously attracting Notre Dame, attracting the University of Cincinnati, as well as a number. I mean, you've got the NBA MVP. Whereas Under Armour, you have the Super Bowl winning quarterback winning Under Armour. You have Jordan Spieth won 2 majors this year in golf. So I think Under Armour is really where Nike was maybe 20, 25 years ago. So we're getting in, I think, at a great turn.
Tell me a little bit about that coaching staff that you have there, all around, very young. You obviously had the opportunity to hire Tyler Haynes. What is your approach when you are looking for a new coach?
There are certain things that I look for. I mean, I think it's a great question. Um, First of all, they have to be passionate about what they're doing. They have to be passionate about coaching at the intercollegiate level, love what they do, because we're obviously never going to, at the small college level, we're never going to be able to pay them requisite with the number of hours that they're putting in. So they have to get up every day and just love what they're doing, love to coach, love to work with young student athletes. So I'm looking for passion. I'm looking for individuals who care about student athletes outside of competition, care about their success in the classroom, care about teaching life skills and not just sports skills. Because in my mind, coaches, we're all educators. We just have a different classroom. So I'm looking for people who really take that to heart and have a philosophy of prioritizing, whether it's faith, family, academics, and then their sport. Those things are certainly very important to me. I look for positive people. I don't have time for people that have negative energy. They just suck the energy out of a room. I like people being positive and carrying that message. And obviously individuals who are going to make a connect with our current student athletes, as well as have the ability to recruit new student athletes here to Urbana.
You've seen Tyler in action for several months now. What do you see about him specifically that you like and are excited about?
Tyler's been everything that I was really looking for and more. You never really know. You have a pretty good feeling because we vet him out pretty well, and I spent a number of hours one-on-one with Tyler, just the two of us talking, obviously about football, but a lot of other things as it relates to intercollegiate athletics. But he's just been really fantastic. Obviously, he's putting in a ton of time. It's been a whirlwind as he develops his staff, tried to retain the current members of the team, try and attract some new players to come in, start putting together a playbook, look at facilities, locker rooms, equipment, etc. So it's really been a quick 2 months. As I told him, it's kind of a sprint to the first game. And then you turn around and realize, well, it's actually a marathon now, so you can't put too much stock in that first game. And I was really proud of how they rebounded this past week and went on the road and got their first win and his first win as a collegiate head football coach. But the thing with Tyler that's really impressed me is how accessible he's been, how willing to work with all our sports, which is very important to me that we think globally here within our department, support each other, and be available and work with all our coaches because there is overlap in facilities or practice times, et cetera, weight room. He's been great with that. There's been a couple things that maybe would have knocked the enthusiasm out of someone, and he's just flipped it on its head and taken a very positive approach to everything that's come his way. So we're very excited to have Tyler here be a part of the Blue Knight program, and I think there's a lot of great things ahead for him in his coaching future.
As you approach, we're just beginning the academic athletic calendar year. Do you have specific goals as a department, or is it program by program specific? And if you could share any of those with us.
We certainly are working on establishing our goals, and I mentioned it earlier in terms of we expect to have excellence in multiple fields, but ultimately we'd like all of our sports to get to the point where if you're talking about a specific sport and who are the top teams in the conference, we'd like to be on that short list as it relates to competition. But we have a lot of young coaches, as you mentioned, changing some of the dynamics. We've got I'm trying to think of a number of first-year coaches or second-year coaches. So I think we're in our infancy a little bit as a department, and really we're just looking for strides. We want to take steps and understanding that we're not going to go, whether it's 7th, 8th place, and all of a sudden be first or second necessarily. You're not going to have that kind of quick turnaround. We're in it for the long haul. We want to recruit the right way, recruit the right people, recruit character and leadership as well as athletic skills. Sometimes that takes a little bit longer, but I'm seeing some strides in terms of the people that are coming in, the recruits that are coming in, and I think you will see that each of our sports take those kind of steps that we're referencing.
All right. Once you put on that whistle and finally take it off as a coach, it's probably some sort of finality. But do you miss that aspect of it all?
I really don't. I mean, it's more of actually when I watch a game on TV sometimes, and I become fan and ex-coach, and what are they doing? What's going on? Or that call was terrible. Those kind of things do come up inevitably. But I think when I had over 30 years coaching experience, I certainly had my time, and I'm a little surprised, quite frankly, but I really turned the page. I'm enjoying coaching the coaches and helping them bring my experience to bear for them. Sometimes it's an X and O's if a basketball coach, but I've even had other coaches because I've worked in a variety of sports throughout my career. And sometimes it's X and O's. Mainly, it's more about I have issues with communication or discipline, or how would you handle this, or do you have any suggestions? And so I'm really enjoying that and trying to create really an administrative coaching tree now. When you're a head coach, you try and make sure and provide an environment where your assistant coaches become head coaches. And now it's just providing opportunities for growth within our own department. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying engaging, all of the athletes in our 15 sports here, as opposed to my particular sport. So it's something that's really energized me and got me excited. And I'd look to be doing this for another 10, 15 years.
All right, Larry Cox, Urbana University. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
And we're out.
Very good.
All right. Hey, thanks.
I appreciate it.
You got it. We'll be talking to you later.
All right. Oh, sorry about the soccer parent that apparently called was advocating.
That's okay. It wasn't the first. Won't be the last.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Talking with Kevin prior to coming in there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Place the handsome guy with the young ugly guy.
Derek, thanks for setting that up. Sorry there were so many issues.